Let there be no doubt in your mind that Kamala Harris will be running in 2028 as the Democrat nominee. In fact, she's making all of the right speeches at all of the right conventions. And this morning, she was at the National Urban League convention where she had this to say.
We need to revisit the Electoral College. We need to revisit the point of expanding the court to 13 justices like we have 13 district courts.
Oh, gosh.
We need to revisit, if they so want, statehood for Puerto Rico and D.C.
If they so want, Puerto Rico and D.C. What about the people of the country if we so want Puerto Rico and D.C. to get 2 senators each, and then to have our representative republic completely ripped apart and go to a pure 1 vote counts? Why do they want to do that? Well, because the population on the West and the East Coast would swamp the vote for anybody else in any other state, fundamentally changing the whole Constitution of the United States and how we vote, and ensure that the small states get the same representation as the big states. But that's not enough for Kamala.
Yes.
Yes.
If we regain control of the Senate, I served on this committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, when I was in the Senate. Only the second black woman elected to the United States Senate after Carol Moseley.
It's always about being black.
And the Senate Judiciary Committee has the power to create rules for its committee that don't have to go to the whole Senate for a vote.
Can somebody tell John Thune this?
Filibuster and all. We need to revisit.
So there you go. Your 4 things. The filibuster snuck in at the end. So what will happen if Kamala becomes president? She's going to change the fabric of the country. But let's look at what she really wants to accomplish.
It has to be about a goal of saying everybody should end up in the same place. And since we didn't start in the same place, some folks might need more. Equitable distribution.
Giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding not everyone starts out at the same place.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity.
Yeah.
Equality suggests often everybody should get the same thing. Well,
No, time out. Equality is about making sure that everybody has a fair opportunity, which is the essence of the 1964 Equal Rights Act. Now, equity, as the genius Kamala Harris is going to explain, is all about outcomes. So what else is all about outcomes and making sure that everybody ends in the same space? Communism.
that often assumes everybody started out in the same place, as opposed to equity, which is everyone should end up in the same place.
Yeah.
And if you then understand not everybody started out in the same place, you understand some people need more. So we all end up in the same place, right?
Right.
We are proud of the fact that equity is one of our guiding principles. Proud of the fact that we understand equality is important, but not everybody starts out on the same base.
We see that people in our country are having an experience that is not equal. So when we talk about the work we are doing here together, it is recognizing that and being guided by this principle of what we must do in the spirit and in the interest of equity. To put
Think about how inherently racist this policy is, because they're not talking about, say, the folks in the Appalachian Mountains that need a boost. They're talking about people of color here and not talking about an equal opportunity. They're talking about an equal outcome. This is inherently discriminatory and inherently racist. Kamala Harris loves it.
equity firmly at the center of our economic policy. But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners.
So this is coming from somebody who's been in public office for 20 years. She's held the second highest position in the country. So very similar to Barack Obama, who, again, had all of these complaints about what this country isn't able to deliver, specifically to people in need or people of color. So interestingly, and along this same theme, Kamala Harris's hero, Barack Obama, he also talked about equity. Never about equality, it was about outcome, not opportunity. So it's very interesting getting lectured by Kamala when she just bought a home just 2 weeks ago, an $8.5 million home in a neighborhood that's 80% white and 0.5% black. Barack Obama, he decided to spend his fortune in Martha's Vineyard, where it's again 89% white and 3% black. Joe Biden, he loved to talk about and to placate the minority vote and to talk about racism and dividing the electorate. Well, he lives in Rehoboth Beach. That's 95% white and 0.1% black. And of course, the other 2028 Democratic nominee, Gavin Newsom, he lives in Fair Oaks, California, and that's just 2% black. So these people that preach diversity and then they escape from it and they buy their homes in these enclaves that are anything but diverse. So if we want this equity that Kamala Harris is talking about, why don't we start giving some of the homes away in Point Dume to some of the people in Southeast D.C.? Or why don't we go to Martha's Vineyard and start to swap homes with the people, with Obama's neighbors or even Obama's house with some of the folks that are in inner city Baltimore? Well, let's look at Joe's beach house in Rehoboth Beach and let's gift that to a family on the south side of Chicago. That would be equity, right? That's fair. And that's also making sure that we're listening to the needs of those less fortunate. So I'll leave you with my favorite clip coming in from Kamala Harris, and this is when she was vice president and had to sign off on Donald Trump's second term where she, Kamala Harris, resoundingly lost. Let's have a listen.
70. The votes for President of the United States are as follows. Donald J. Trump of the state of Florida has received 312 votes. Kamala D. Harris. Kamala D. Harris of the state of California has received 226 votes.
So there you have it, my favorite clip, where Kamala Harris had to admit defeat and certify Donald Trump's second term. So what do we have to take from this? Kamala absolutely is going to be running, and she's going to be even more progressive and aggressive than we've ever seen her because she has nothing to lose. Now that the Democrat Party has been hijacked by the progressives, think socialists, that she is going to be moving even more extreme than she's ever done before, because this is going to be a race for who can outdo each other on the Democrat side, none of which will help and none of which will drive an electoral college victory for Kamala Harris, because she knows, and going back to the beginning of this video, that she has no chance of winning in a representative republic because the center of America wants nothing to do with this. So they just want to, again, placate the New York voters and the California voters because they're stupid enough to fall for everything that Kamala Harris, the 2028 Democrat ticket, or leading ticket, is going to say to them. Be sure to like and subscribe to The Chris Locke Show for the latest America First news, conservative commentary, and the stories that mainstream media refuses to cover. These two videos right up here, they're going to be next. Pick your favorite. I'll see you over there.